Hello and welcome to this edition of Diaspora Central. I am Gil Ingles, and with me today, ladies and gentlemen, for this spotlight, it's the man that goes by MyKey ISO.
Hey man, how you doing?
MyKey ISO.
Yeah, what's up? MyKey ISO. ISO.
ISO. Now that's a standard right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Diaspora Central Spotlight, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How have you been, man?
I've been great, man.
Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Prepping up for this album, so I'm kind of excited about this.
A lot of good stuff coming out.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Let's get a little bit into your inspirations, man. What exactly drives MyKey ISO into
Okay.
music?
So I've been making music for, I think I'm about to hit my 20-year mark now.
Mm-hmm.
In 2023.
Wow.
As a kid, I'm Nigerian, so my dad jammed a lot of Fela Kuti.
Okay.
And Afro sounds where then he'll jam Temptations, Frankie Beverly and Mays, Stevie Wonder, all these guys. And just being from Houston, seeing how Houston's music has elevated so much, I just picked up different sounds from growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
So my last name is really Isope, but I played a lot of basketball. So the first three letters is ISO.
Right.
And, in basketball, that's ISO, ISO. So, that kind of stuck with me. And, I've had that name since I was a kid. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you ISO.
Yeah, now I'm ISO.
Yeah, ISO. So, but the full name is Isope.
Isope, yeah.
Isope. Yeah. Now, what part of Nigeria is Pops from?
Edo State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now just Pops or Mom's also?
Mom's from Delta.
Okay, Mom's from Delta. Okay,
Yeah.
but both parents are Nigerian.
Yeah.
Okay. So you speak Yoruba also? No.
Only broken English.
Didn't pick up the dialect.
Nah,
But you picked up Pidgin.
Yeah, I picked up Pigeon.
Picked up Pidgin.
They did that so in case they wanted to make fun of me, I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah, but both parents don't speak the same language.
No, my mom speaks Igbo, my dad speaks Edo and Yoruba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they too. Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
that's
so
why. Yeah,
the
common
English.
Yeah,
where I
the
could pick
common
up on.
denominator.
Yeah.
That's the common denominator. Now, let's talk about growing up even as a Nigerian American or an American Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
Or an American of Nigerian descent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of course, two cultures, completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about it. How did you manage that?
So,
And when did you even identify that, okay, what was happening at home and what happens in the street was not quite the same thing?
not quite the same. Yeah. It took me a while because, playing basketball and being I wanted to tap into music at a young age when I used to ask my dad for a saxophone.
Okay.
My dad would say, "You get all A's, you're gonna get this saxophone." I was not getting all A's. So, going to my friend's house, I'll see how involved they were with their parents. Their parents are coming to them to their basketball games. And then my parents is work, do good in school, and be a doctor. All this, And I was like, which kind of basketball? They didn't really understand it. So it was just like trying to have them come to my games was the toughest thing. And I think my dad only came to one game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But it was hard because it was just like, it was hard to fathom because I'll see my friends and I'll see how they'll gel with their parents. And then I come to mine and it was a lot stricter. And, so it wasn't till probably my adult age is when I started to understand it a lot better.
Yeah.
And, they opened up a lot more because they're very proud of me and say, hey, man, they my dad now comes to my shows now to see me perform from time to time. And yeah, but it was a process.
It's okay.
It's okay.
If you get all A's. But now, of course, as we're growing up with this, we're also going through all these challenges of, just understanding culture, identity, right?
Yeah.
And figuring out exactly what is what. At home, of course, I'm sure that if your father is jamming to a lot of Fela Kuti, you're getting like a lot of African essence within it. what captures you into music? Specifically.
It's sometimes the feeling, sometimes the lyrics. It's a lot of things actually. Like I can listen to Fella Zombie, and you know, for the first about 5 minutes, he's not saying nothing, but you hearing that saxophone, and I'm just like, yo, that's saying a lot,
Right.
without him even saying a word.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that can move me. And other times it can be lyrics where it's just like, you know, emotions in a song can be very powerful, where it's just like, I remember it was a song, Maxwell, Pretty Wings. I heard that song for the first time, and I hadn't even went through a heartbreak at that time. But the song was so powerful, I felt like I went through a heartbreak. When I heard that record, I was like, man,
That's your soul.
I can relate to this,
Right.
but I can't because I have not been through this. But I was like, when I go through a heartbreak, this is the song I'm going to this is the song I'm going to listen to. So, yeah.
That's what it's going to be like.
Yeah, this is what it's going to feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, of course, you asked your father for the saxophone. Approximately how old were you then?
Man, I was probably like 8, 9.
Okay, so
I would ask him
that's
every,
early.
Yeah, I ask him every year.
Yeah.
And, you know, he bought a piano, but I wasn't really interested in the piano. It was the saxophone that at that time, it was my favorite instrument. I was just like, I really want a saxophone.
Got you. Now, but do you play the piano at all?
No, I don't play the piano.
No.
I play the guitar now. I'm learning how to.
You're learning how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, the first song that you make at what age? And
first song, as in fully recorded, or
yeah, like
just
no, the first one that you actually like. Okay, let me write a song or something.
This was probably early. Probably like I was probably like 11, and it was so crazy. I still remember the hook to it. It was so corny, but yeah.
Give us the hook.
The hook. Oh man. It goes, how many players like to make money? We do. Now we banking, ranking, now we overranking. Da 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 da, and then dun 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 da 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 da. I remember the melody, but I couldn't remember the words. But I just always knew that was that one I was proud of at 11 years old.
There you go.
Yeah, I had not a dollar in my pocket, but talking about how to make money.
Hey, you were already projecting the money into coming
Yeah.
because after all, of course, you knew that it was gonna come eventually.
Yeah.
So eventually, at some point, you actually. People at school, teachers, and what school did you attend? What teachers influenced you? Did they even influence you at all?
Yeah. I went to Kempner in high school, and I have a teacher named Miss Clark. She wasn't even really actually my teacher. She was just like one of the coolest teachers.
Okay.
She taught criminal justice, and at times I would get in trouble, and I would just go to her class and just chill there, and she would just give me a pep talk on how to get better. And then I went to UTSA, where that's where I really said, okay, I feel like I can really do this music thing. And while I was at UTSA, I was struggling because I was just like, you know, I want to major in music, but at that time, I was like, I don't know how to play a single instrument. I don't know what you don't really go to school for rap. Like, so it was a lot, but I majored in psychology. And then after that, I came back and I was substituting, and I went back to my old school, and I always help out Miss Clark.
Right.
Because Miss Clark was the one who used to help me out when I was a kid.
So you basically became Miss Clark's
Yeah.
sidekick.
Yeah.
The
When
assistant
she needed,
teacher for
she
her.
needed to leave, call me. I'll be there to help.
Got you.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a quick break and go into one of MyKey ISO's visuals, because we need to take a look at the content that he actually is currently out there. So for those of you that just joined us, you're now tuning into the Diaspora Central Spotlight, and we'll be right back.
What it is, what it ain't. I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. Never say that I can't. I mean, beat in the paint. Wait, footwork like Elijah Wan. I caught storm with this shackle. For a finger, I got love and hate. I do the right thing, you not Spike do. I feel the dream, I'm a king to be. I know it was written in haikus. So, brother, melanated skin, no copy, nothing like you. I just adjust with speed. These dreams are mine to achieve. Your love made me to believe I could call you when in need. Glories for you to perceive. Watch snakes, they move to deceive. They change and move like mystique. I breathe success when I speak. And I'm like, Damn, they just see the glory. They don't know my story, ain't seen it when things was ugly. I'm like, damn, please don't try to judge me. If you knew my journey, then maybe you'll say I'm worth it. I'm like,
And we are back. For those of you that just joined us, tuned into the Diaspora Central Spotlight, and MyKey ISO is our guest today. Yes, we have an artist in the building. Nigeria is in the building.
Come on, Nigeria.
Oh, man. Last name again? Iso?
Isope.
Isope.
Yeah, Isope. ISO.
That's you know what, but it's one thing. It's one interesting thing that you mentioned was, you know what, you can go to school for rap, right? And now I guess just speaking today and figuring out things, I think that's actually one of the measures that they probably eventually gotta really get into schools.
Yeah.
Right? Because at some point they used to say, oh no, if you want to be a rapper, you can just be a poet. But
Yeah.
well, now there's flow also. And flow in itself as a level of science.
Yes.
Right. So I think that someone needs to start a
class.
rapping course,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Colleges or high schools should have that. Should be part of the literary works, I guess.
I definitely agree. I think a lot of kids will enjoy it too,
Yeah.
because it's like, oftentimes people go to school and they're searching for what catches their attention in school.
Right.
And, especially for our community, it's just like, this can be an elective.
Right.
It could be simple as an elective where, it's catching kids and they're excited for this and it's keeping them in school to go to this class. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course there's it's like there's just to me there's just great advantages. And today, of course, I mean, NAS is now being studied at Berkeley, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully that is opened the door for many others.
Absolutely.
Now let's hop into the stuff that you got going on.
Okay.
Right? Well, you always lived here in Houston then?
Yeah, I always lived, basically in Texas majority of my life.
Texas, okay.
Yeah, I did.
What areas? Let's go.
I stayed in Houston. Well, I was in Nigeria for 1 year. I was one of those.
Did you?
Yeah, I was one of
Okay.
those. I'll send you back home.
Oh,
They sent me back home.
yeah. Hold on, there's a story behind that.
Yes.
Let's get into this story. So, what takes you to Nigeria?
Oh man, this is what is this? 2000? Was it 2005? I think. I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And I remember I had gotten into it with a group of Asians in my neighborhood. We're playing basketball. It sounds like a Fresh Prince story. But we're playing basketball. We got into it.
Yeah.
They were very angry with me, and they wanted to get me.
Yeah.
Basically. So, everyone knew where I lived in high school. I was like the house to go to in high school.
Got you.
So
Well, why? Because of the party? Well,
it wasn't even the part. The house was just so big where after school
everybody came
you
to
just
hang
come
out.
out and just hang out at my house.
Got you.
Yeah, I never threw parties, but
Yeah.
it was just like
The hangout
the
spot.
hangout spot. You know, the PlayStation is there, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they came to my house, and they I wasn't home at the time, but they broke the front windows.
Ooh.
Yes, so they broke all the front windows, and my parents found out, of course, and my mom was scared. Are you in a gang? I said, no, I'm not in a gang. Why are these people doing this? I said, because we got into it. They trying to fight me, but they can't find me. She's like, no, this is. And my dad was already fed up with me, but that was
Right.
like the last straw. So
Wow.
he said, you and your brother,
Nigeria.
So in 10th grade, it was in the middle of 10th grade, actually. That's where it
Yeah.
was. It wasn't 9th grade, it was 10th grade. I was in the middle. It was October. We went to Nigeria. And
Wow.
Yeah.
So now, this is the first time that you
Where I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you come into this new place, right? Because every other time you too little,
Yeah, I couldn't
too
remember.
young.
Yeah.
Now you like, okay.
Yep.
When you landed. It's okay.
Yeah, ISO changed to Isope. I smelled Nigeria. I said,
Yeah.
yep, this is it. And
Home.
this was home.
Mm-hmm.
I was angry. I was angry because I was like, I need to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So and this is what I learned so much.
Yeah.
Education wise,
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria is far above America.
The States.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you have to take an entry
To
test
get in,
to get in.
Even to get into high school.
I'm failing all
Yeah.
of these with flying colors. I'm talking about what's this school called? Corona.
Mm-hmm.
All these schools. I'm just Green Springs. I can't remember the exact name,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm failing all these schools. And then an idea hits me.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my brother, let's keep failing these classes. I mean these tests, because if we fail, no school would take us, and we'll have
We
to go
gotta
back
go
to
back.
America. Because I heard my dad, these kids can't pass. Say, no problem. No problem. No wahala.
We got a plan.
2 + 2 is 44. We
There
filled out
you go.
all of these.
Mm.
Never forget this school. CEF, Supreme Education Foundation.
Yeah.
The principal name was Mr. Nkama.
Mm-hmm.
These kids are American kids. No problem. We'll take them. I know they failed the test, but we'll train them and we'll take them. And they took us. Took us. I said, man.
But you know what? I consider that divine intervention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because trust you me, if you already at home you getting in with the Asians,
Mm-hmm.
eventually this thing about to get ugly somewhere,
Yeah.
right? So Pops is like, no, we're not having this, dude. Yeah, you're shipping out.
Will Smith went to Bel Air.
Bel Air. You went to Niger. Same purpose, but good lessons learned in Niger.
Oh,
though.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. As a kid, you don't really understand it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I left. I was only there for 1 year.
Yeah.
So my 10th grade, my mom wanted me to come home soon. My dad wanted me to be out there probably my whole
Yeah.
high school, but my mom begged for him to send us back. But
Yeah.
I definitely learned a lot. At the time, I didn't like it, but it took me like 12 years to go back and appreciate it a lot more. Like my family that took care. I was in boarding school, so even friends that I've known then, I was happy to see them. Like I was just in Nigeria in October.
Yeah.
So it was just like I saw them again, and
So you created lifelong relationships.
absolutely.
Yeah, no, and that's what's really important, because a lot of times we don't understand that we come into this life really with a specific purpose, which is to share energy.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying divine intervention, because trust you me, God knew that he had to take you out of here, out of the States for about a year, so that you could go and gain something different and come back with a different level of appreciation.
Absolutely.
So let's go into another break and take a look at some more of your content, so that then we can continue our conversation. For those of you that just joined us, we are today interviewing one of our good musicians right here from Houston, Texas, MyKey ISO. We'll be right back.
Dreams keep the gas supreme. Royal fashion like I'm Prince Hakeem. We live in lavish, just me and Queen. Cruise through clouds with the top down. She on top now with a top off. This is joyride. Tie dye on the highway, colors vibrate. We can migrate to a new state by the hillside. Probably reside somewhere uptown. When I touch down, hear the trunk sound like a drum line. Too fly for my own good. This a new high, trying to find ground while I'm cloud nine. Hold up. Pull up. Double cup. If you wanna ride, better buckle up. Cruising the leaf where the doubles up. Texas made a G, better toughen up. Draped up. I done came down, let the trunk bang. Underground king, bunnin' sweet James. Candy paint dripping while I switch lanes. I just pop my trunk.
And we are back. For those of you that just joined us today, we having a ball right here in the studio. A lot of Nigerian stories. He's up there.
Yeah.
MyKey ISO. No, man. So, what exactly happened in assembly?
So, okay. So, for those who don't know, in Nigeria, they do assembly where it's from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. So, I forgot what pre-K is called, but all the way to SS3. Everyone's in the building. They're making announcements.
Right.
Pledge a...
So that's kind of like homeroom for us.
Yeah,
Here in the
homeroom.
States, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So everyone's there, and this is like my first week in Nigeria. right? Mr. Nkama walked around with 2 sticks. This guy was like a samurai or something, because he was my biology teacher, so I knew I was not good in science, but I was like, I'm gonna be good in science for his class, because I never want to get whooped by him.
Right.
And this was the day I realized I never want to get whooped by him.
Wow.
So during assembly, he calls one of my classmates. His name's Richard, and Richard got to go home every day. So Richard was drinking on the bus. The bus driver caught him, reported it to Mr. Nkama. Richard, come to the front. This boy has been drinking on the bus. We will deal with him here. So I'm like, yo, what you mean you'll deal with him here? Oh, snap. Richard finna get whooped in front of everybody? Oh,
whoa.
Okay, let me watch. The way he beat Richard, I'm telling you, Richard clothes was ripping. We wear uniforms.
Yeah.
The whole uniform, Richard can't wear those uniforms no more because
got shredded.
He is shredded. He whooped Richard, and Richard taking him, but Richard eventually braced.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm looking like the first whoosh would have had me like I would have ran out the assembly. Like, you're not finna whoop me in front. Yo, whoop me in private if you gotta whoop me. You're not finna whoop me. So Richard got beat bad.
Made an example.
Yes, made an example. He had blisters, everything. Richard's in class. He's standing the whole time. Richard can't sit.
Yeah. Oh, man.
He beat Richard to the point Richard stood the whole... I'm looking at Richard like, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, yeah.
This will not be my calling. I'm not getting whooped like that.
These people too real here.
That's all I had to see. And that straightened that was that first week. I called my dad, said I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm not getting whooped like that.
That's
ever.
it. Yeah. So eventually you come back to the States. Now, while in Nigeria, did you do any music?
Yes. What's so crazy is when you see this album cover for 3 Feet from Gold, the person who drew this was one of my classmates. His name is Dukes Induka. Dukes has done a lot of stuff for Chameleonaire, Davido, a lot of Nigerian artists, Olamide. So I met Dukes when I was in school. We were in the same class.
Okay.
And I was rapping at that time, and I think that's when I really started gearing to be like, man, I think this is really my passion. Because I was playing basketball. Supreme Education, they built a basketball court for me.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't playing soccer. So they were like, all right, we need something for him to get active.
Gotcha.
So, but then I was writing the most I've ever written at that time in my life. And that's when I was like, you know what? I really think I can do this. Yeah, music thing. So
talk about divine intervention. Come on, you going in and you making them put in a basketball court.
The thing that got me.
These Americans.
Yeah, they made one. They made one for me, and I always appreciate them for that. Yeah, because that was, I wasn't good at soccer at all. Yeah, and so I was just like, I don't know what to do when we're outside, and they were like, I'm watching this kid. Okay, just build the courts.
There you go.
And so they made it for me, and I was.
So you guys started playing basketball. Yeah. So eventually, you of course you work with Nduka, and he's part of your clique. Any other names that you need to mention from that class that today?
From that class,
yeah.
Some I haven't seen in such a long time. His name's Jerry. He was a dude from where is he from? He was from London. I can't remember exactly where from London. Okay. And then another guy from Brixton. His name was Daniel. Those are the guys I used to hang around with back then. Itoro, he lives in Houston now. And a dude who was my prefect, his name Golden. Okay. He lives in Houston now as well. So it's just like seeing them in Houston. Right. And I was just like, yo, that's crazy.
So that's your clique right there.
Yeah, that's the crew.
Yeah. Now, so once you get back in the States, at this point, you now really submerged into writing. You rap and you're writing a lot of good stuff. So when do you take that step of moving into a studio?
I actually, when was it? I know it was my sophomore year. I think I started before I left to start going into the studio.
Oh, okay.
And then I went.
So you actually start going like then between the 9th and the 10th grade.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was still like I wasn't as good. Like I was just like, I was more writing poetry on a beat. So my flow wasn't the
Yeah.
best. It was just like I sound
Wasn't
like
developed.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
developed. But when I was in Nigeria, I started to hear different sounds where it's like, okay, if I write the beat like this is better. And then when I got back to the States, I wouldn't say it was as easy for me, but I had improved so much.
Gotcha.
So it was just like, I know the sound I'm trying to create. It's in my head. I'm still working on it, but I'm getting better at it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to production, what producers were you working with, especially for some of the work that you got coming out now and the work that you already have out?
So Snipe Young. Snipe Young is a Grammy-nominated producer from Alabama. He lives in LA now. I met him on Clubhouse. Real cool dude. We just always used to talk when Clubhouse first started popping. And then I went to go visit him in LA, and you know, he was listening to the album, and he enhanced some of the songs on the album.
Nice.
Zach is somebody I actually met off YouTube. Real cool dude. I heard one of his beats on YouTube, and I just reached out to him and was like, yo, can I work with you? And he has the most songs on the album. I think he has like 5 or 6 songs on the album.
Yeah.
And it's just like a lot. I'm on some of the songs as well that I produce, well, guitar-wise.
Yeah.
And Danny Watts. I have features from OMB Bloodbath, Danny, my homegirl Kenny, my homegirl 8, and Pepper Dawn, a reggae artist from Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that this body of work, this new album that you got dropping, it's sort of monumental because it's really a newer phase of you.
Yes.
Kind of describe that for the fans.
Yeah, so the album is called 3 Feet from Gold. And what it basically means is really like, I don't know if you ever seen that picture of a guy, he's in the tunnel. He's digging in the tunnel, and on the other side is like jewelry, diamonds, gold or whatever. And, you know, he doesn't know how far he has to go,
right.
And he ends up giving up.
Yeah.
And so the album, it took me about 4 to 3 years to make this album from my last album that I dropped called Last Name ISO back in 2018. So this album just shows my growth. Like it shows I'm from Houston. I have an Afrobeat record on it. It shows like I have my mom on the album. Just the things that I've dealt with personally, and just bringing them out and just putting them on cool beats.
Yeah. So this is the first all of you, pretty much.
Not
in a way.
Yeah, well,
a portion of you.
Yeah, a portion of me. Since Last Name ISO, I think was my first full portion of me. But this one is like you'll definitely see the growth.
Yeah.
From Last Name ISO that I dropped in 2018
to where you are now.
To where I'm at now. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And for people that need to get in touch with you, how would they get in touch with you? Where they can get access to your content?
MyKey ISO. I'm everywhere with MyKey ISO. It's MyKey ISO. MyKey ISO. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you have your own website also?
Yeah, I have my own website.
What's your website address?
Yeah, MyKeyISO.com. So
Okay.
same thing, MyKeyISO.com.
Yeah, everything is MyKeyISO. Yeah, MyKeyISO.com.
Yep.
All right, so make sure that we get that. Now, anything that you think that your fans or audience needs to know or hear from you?
I got some new merch coming out. I'm excited about that. I go on tour. So I'm bringing the whole band with me.
There you go. Yeah, so full live band.
Yeah, full live
All
band.
right, MyKey ISO right here in Houston. Yeah, we talking good music right here.
Yeah.
We talking grown folks stuff. We talking good stuff, my friends. I appreciate you guys joining us, man. Thank you for coming through. Is there
Always.
anything that you would like to any shout outs that you would like to give? Now is the opportunity to do so.
Shout outs to the whole team. Chanel, Eek, Bloom, DJ Bloom. I appreciate y'all. I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's make this thing happen, MyKey ISO. Let's see if we can get a Grammy with this one. Houston needs one, definitely. And for those of you that joined us, thank you for doing so. Of course, Diaspora Central.net is the URL where you can get more information on MyKey ISO. And keep posted because he also has got his own website, which is
MyKeyISO.com.
MyKeyISO.com. So as always, thank you for joining us. And remember, if you don't do it for ourselves, no one else will. Until next time, peace.